Hi, my name is Mark Wilcox, and I'm with the Dunn County Community Visioning process. And essentially what this process is we're trying to gain different perspectives, different ideas, goals and aspirations, voiced through your opinion for the future of Dunn County. And essentially it's a community conversation about the future for Dunn County. You might ask yourself, why is it important to do any type of visioning or any type of process that involves planning for the future? And you can see here, one key bullet is successful regional communities create a shared vision which helps groups and people strive towards a common future. This is a great visual depiction because it identifies two possible scenarios that could actually play out here in Dunn County. Scenario A, you have several different committed groups, organizations, citizens within the county that perhaps are very committed and driven towards their goal. However, scenario B here is when all of these different citizens, organizations, and groups are working together, sharing resources, utilizing different knowledge and information, and educating each other on where and exactly how they're going to get to a shared common future. There are several different key components and elements that represent benefits of community visioning. You can see adequacy of products and services available to residents, an upward trend in employment, which sounds very promising, optimistic attitude towards change, population with a higher average level of education, and upward population growth. These are all key characteristics to a successful community and sound extremely, extremely promising. To catch you up to date where exactly this process has been, where it is now, and where it will be going, on May 10th, we gathered over 100 different people who represented 8 different capitals. And those capitals being financial, social, human, cultural, and so on. And we found that these key capitals represent and give a broad picture of what Dunn County is composed of. We explored global and regional trends and internal community dynamics, identified key drivers potentially shaping the local region. On May 31st, these 100 participants, 100 stakeholders, reconvened, and we did a scenario planning activity. We defined 4 plausible future directions for the region, and we developed detailed narratives of the implications of each of the 4 possible directions. Essentially what is going on this summer is we are taking these 4 plausible scenarios out into the community and gaining different perspectives and ideas about the future for Dunn County through a community-wide conversation, and we are trying to identify the preferred future, the future that citizens of Dunn County want to see play out. Fall 2007, we will reconvene with the 100 stakeholders, and we will develop a thematic analysis. And essentially what that is we will identify key areas and key different themes that came up over the course of this summer that were raised to our attention by citizens of Dunn County that will help shape future policy as well as give a strong influence towards political leaders in this community. So to recap the scenario planning, we drew together over 100 different participants, 100 different stakeholders, and representation based on Community Capital's framework, which I will touch on in the next slide. It included a range of ages, multiple perspectives, as well as experiences. So you might ask yourself, how were these capitals composed? Well, essentially, North Central Regional Center for Rural Development, which was based on the Iowa State University, they conducted research and found through their literature that these key components compose a successful community. You can see natural capital, cultural capital, human capital, social capital, political, built, and financial. A well-balanced representation of each capital leads to a vibrant and prosperous community. So essentially, we made sure that each different capital had a fair representation for Dunn County, and we developed some baseline information as far as what exactly we want, or the different stakeholders would like to see in the future of Dunn County, as well as their fears, goals, and aspirations for Dunn County. So to develop that baseline information, now we're taking this out into the county and making sure that we hear everyone's opinion for the future, the preferred future for Dunn County. Our current sponsors, this is a rather grassroots operation, but currently we have Dunn County Stout Ale House, who provided the room as well as the food and service for our stakeholders meetings on May 31st and May 10th. University of Wisconsin Stout and XL Energy. What have we been learning about the future? Forces impacting the world. What are the emerging global drivers? You can see here, energy consumption is increasing. By the year 2050, half of the energy consumption, or excuse me, there will be an increase by nearly half of the energy consumption in the world today. Wealth in the U.S. is being distributed to fewer people. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. There's sort of a shrink in the middle class there. Dramatic increase in wealth and workforce size in China and India, expected to continue and grow. Decline in U.S. economic power in the world. Climate change is emerging as a major global issue. We are faced with a major phenomenon with global warming. Media power shifting to internet and away from traditional media. The internet has allowed us to do several different things that we haven't been able to do 5, 10, 15, even 20 years ago. So forces that are more closer to home that might have a more direct impact on the future of Dunn County. The Twin Cities sprawl. It's inevitable. It is continually coming this way. It is moving eastward. Increasing population, loss of young people, aging population. Energy, rising costs, potential for renewable energy in the region. This is a main concern, loss and degradation of natural resources, water and farmland. Farmland is starting to be developed. We're sort of losing that rural integrity. Dynamics at play inside our community. The stakeholders were put through several different tasks and activities at these 2 different scenario planning meetings. And they identified, we are weak at encouraging new leaders to step forward. We have strong traditional organizations, which are the backbone of our community. We have strong community pride, but not very inclusive of new people and ideas. We are weak at supporting local businesses, and we are not very self-reliant and don't look long-term to the future. Another activity they did that was based off the previous slide is they identified different attributes, 10 different attributes that they thought Dunn County was strong at. You can see here, strong presence of traditional institutions. 96% of the stakeholders believed that that was accurate. 4% disagreed, thought that we were sort of weak at in that area. Moving over to communities are self-reliant. 88% of the stakeholders believed that we were rather weak in that area. Support local businesses. 74, so almost 3/4 of the people there at the stakeholder meeting believe that we are weak at supporting the local businesses here in Dunn County. What are the key drivers that will shape the future of Dunn County? This is a very important question to ask ourselves because these key components will have an impact on where the future of Dunn County is going. It's sort of the lever that's driving the big ship. New leadership developed. Education utilizes technology. Protect water resources, Twin Cities sprawl. These are not in any sort of rank order, but these are just key attributes or key components that will definitely have an impact on the future of Dunn County. And these were brought up and raised by the stakeholders. And you might not see a key driver that you may be thinking of right now up on this list, but this is just sort of a general overview of the key drivers that will play out and impact the future of Dunn County. These key drivers were essentially rated on 2 axes, uncertainty and importance. You can see here that the key drivers up in the upper right-hand quadrant rated high in importance and high in uncertainty. And essentially what that means is they're rather important to the community and to the county. However, with a higher uncertainty means that with more resource and more invested into the economic, social, and environmental components in this upper right-hand quadrant, will have an ability to shape and influence the direction of these components in this area. Cost and availability of health care, political and policy environment, sustainability of agriculture, attracting and retaining